Welcome to Daily Steps from One Extraordinary Marriage, where we outline simple steps that you can take to have the ultimate marriage adventure. I'm Tony DeLorenzo, your co-host, along with my beautiful wife, Elisa. In today's show, we answer the question, how do we navigate our marriage while dealing with my spouse's depression?
This wife went on to say that the doctors are trying to find the right dosage for her husband in terms of the medications, and are also telling her that in the season she simply needs to be patient while they're figuring this all out. And the first thing that Tony and I always say whenever we're dealing with a medical issue is that we are not medical doctors.
We're not.
Please go back to your physicians, ask them for detailed things. We're not telling you ever to get off of your medications. And medications are actually a very, very important facet of treatment with depression. And we know, having had our own experiences with depression, that there are many, many nuances to it. It's not black and white.
No.
Right? And it doesn't just impact the person that is dealing with the depression. Anyone, if you've ever experienced depression, or if one of your loved ones has, you know that there is a ripple effect.
There is. There totally is. I was talking to a husband just yesterday, and, his wife has been dealing with some depression. And it's interesting because we were just talking and the cycles it's going through and the highs and the lows. And, he's on a roller coaster.
Sure. And
he's completely committed to her and helping her. And yet we're talking and I'm just sharing like, hey, this is a roller coaster. So let's look at that and know when to talk to her about important and heavy items. You don't do it right at her bottom. You're doing it at her high. And but I was definitely right there with you and saying, hey, make sure this is a comprehensive look. Make sure you're going to your doctors, your counselors, and everybody's in tune with what's happening.
And it's important because there's so much focus when somebody's dealing with depression within a marriage. There's so much focus on the person who has depression. Right? Just like this wife was saying about getting her husband, the right medications, getting him the right treatments. And what I want to encourage as this question comes to light here is that it's not just the person who has depression that needs help and self-care. It's also the spouse who is caring for them.
Yes.
Right? It's important. And this really could be taken out of, not just depression, but any serious illness, any chronic illness, where if you're caring for your spouse, if it's impacting your marriage, which all of these things do, you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And that may mean that you need to go work with a therapist or a coach. That may mean that you need to make your own doctor's appointments to make sure that you're taking care and the body that you're walking around in is functioning the way that it's supposed to. Because when the two of you are both working on getting healthy, when you're working on the dynamic of how do we strengthen our communication in this season, how do we make time for one another in dealing with this, the conversations that you're going to have in dealing with the depression and marriage are going to look a little different from couple to couple because of how depression impacts couple to couple.
Yeah, that's a key too to understand. I think too often, and Elisa and I want to bring this up, because we have both been down this road in our own marriage and in our own lives. And how Elisa and I were able to get out of that is different than most people. Maybe some have been able to the way we've been able to. Maybe they haven't. Right. Well, the thing is that I have found that we're looking for the quick fix, the quick answer. And I think for myself, I was probably in that state of depression for a good year, if not more. So even though we want it to be quick because we see the pain that our spouse is going through, there's a process that's happening, and just knowing that and understanding it. And so really when we come behind these microphones and we're talking about topics like this, which is a heavy topic, it's not something that's just going to go away with the snap of a finger. It's knowing that you're not alone, number one. You're not alone. There are other couples who have gone through this and have survived. And yet it's also understanding that this isn't a microwave fix. And if you haven't sought out help medically, a therapist, a coach, then you need to. Even physical health nutritional health. These all make difference for you, the one who's not, who's caring for your spouse, who is dealing with it.
Like Tony said, it's not a microwave approach. It's also not an individual approach. And by that, I mean, it's not something you just do by yourself. You power through, you put your blinders on, and you just, by sheer strength of will, make the changes happen. It's saying, you know what, we're going to create a community. We're going to have support around this. We're going to be transparent about what we're going through, as hard as that is, because people can't help you if they don't know that you're going through something. And I know it from our own marriage. I know it from the things that we've shared, that stepping into a place where we'll take off our masks and say, this is what I'm struggling with, has allowed healing to come in, has allowed support to come in, has allowed the two of us to become stronger as a couple. So as you're in this place of navigating marriage and depression, don't try and tackle everything at once. Look for those baby steps that you can take to take your marriage in the direction that you want it to go.
Do you want your questions answered? Send an email to dailysteps@oneextraordinarymarriage.com, and in the subject line, put Daily Steps question. For help in this area of your marriage, check out oneextraordinarymarriage.com/coaching.